Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Earlier on this week, we got some of the biggest news, I would say, in gaming history, with Microsoft and Xbox announcing that they plan to buy Activision, which is a huge thing. It was a $70 billion deal. Now, the thing is, this isn't set to actually take place until summer of 2023. So this is still a ways off. It's not really going to have any huge impacts on Call of Duty this year. But what it does have an impact on is the more long-term future of Call of Duty. And ever since this news surfaced, there's been a lot of questions going around asking, is, Call of Duty going to be exclusive to Xbox? Are PlayStation players just out of luck from here on out? What's going to happen to Warzone? Are we still going to see the yearly Call of Duty games? And actually, over the past couple of days, and honestly the past 24 hours, we've now seen multiple new announcements come out from Xbox, and also some reports as well about what could potentially be happening as Microsoft and as Xbox take over. So as we go over it all today, if you enjoy the video at any point, let me know by dropping a like on it. Would be seriously appreciated. Really does help the channel grow. And if you're new to the channel, or if you have not already subscribed, every single day I got you covered with all things going on in COD. So feel free to hit that sub button, as right around 58% of viewers watching are not subscribed yet. And also right now, all weekend long, my G Fuel discount code WhosImmortal is actually boosted to get you 30% off everything on the site. So if you want to grab anything there, now is literally the best time to do so. Now, when this information actually surfaced earlier on this week, I got literally hundreds of comments saying, I can't believe they're taking out Call of Duty from PlayStation. I can't believe they're removing it from the entire console. Like, that's ridiculous. That is not the case whatsoever. I got, like I said, literally hundreds of comments between here and like Twitter, which, by the way, if you don't follow me over there, feel free to do so at WhosImmortal. But over the past day or so, Phil Spencer from Xbox actually talked more on these rumors and all the speculation going around. He actually said, had good calls this week with the leaders at Sony. I confirmed our intent to honor all existing agreements upon acquisition of Activision Blizzard and our desire to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. Sony is an important part of our industry and we value our relationship. So this tweet is essentially saying any already existing contracts between Sony and Activision, like for instance, some of the exclusivity with the combat packs and certain XP events, if those are still active once Microsoft and Xbox take over, they're going to honor those agreements, which is kind of crazy. Xbox could own Call of Duty, but PlayStation is still going to get some player exclusive benefits. Like we said, if those contracts are still in place, we don't actually know when those are expiring because that's not public information to my knowledge. So that's a pretty interesting thing. But then obviously the big part of this tweet is the fact that Phil Spencer does indeed say, we plan to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. And that just logically makes sense, at least short term, right? Because really, when it comes down to it, PlayStation is a massive part of Call of Duty sales. It's actually the biggest platform for sales for the Call of Duty franchise. Every single year, the top selling games on PlayStation are Call of Duty games all year long. And sometimes for 2 years, even 2-year-old COD games, like in this case, Cold War, are still at the top of game sales as well. So digitally and physically, PlayStation is a huge source of sales for Call of Duty, and it'd be very stupid to cut out that massive chunk of change, even if it's a direct competitor for Xbox once they acquire Call of Duty. So they plan to keep the games there, but at the same time, looking long term, that could potentially change because they did say something similar with Bethesda, and obviously that went to, Xbox Game Pass exclusivity very, very quickly. Because if they were to do that, if they were to say, okay, Call of Duty games from here on out are Xbox and PC exclusive via Game Pass, that's going to entice players to buy Xbox consoles or to, subscribe to Game Pass, and that's going to net more sales for Xbox there. It's an interesting sort of situation because short term, it benefits Xbox, I think, the most to stay with games on PlayStation because since they're owners, they're still going to be, acquiring revenue from games sold on PlayStation. But long term, if they can get more players to jump ship and go to Xbox instead of PlayStation, that's also a big W for them as well. So we are really going to have to see how that plays out. But there's also some other more interesting news, in my opinion, that is more short-term focused, not necessarily to do with this year's Call of Duty, because that's all pretty much set in stone. And obviously, as we talked about in the intro, this deal isn't even set to happen until summer of next year. But looking forward, there was actually a Bloomberg article that was posted, and well, safe to say it's got some interesting information, to say the least. So Charlie Intel basically tweeted out saying Bloomberg is reporting that there has been high-level conversations at Activision executive teams about stopping the annual release of Call of Duty. Nothing final yet, but the discussion is happening. I want to read word for word what this actual Bloomberg article says. They say high-level employees at Activision have discussed moving away from the annual release schedule, according to two people familiar with the discussions. Although nothing has been finalized yet, that's a key portion of this, there has been belief among many Call of Duty developers that releasing games at a slower cadence will please players and help bolster the franchise, particularly after the weak launch of last year's Call of Duty Vanguard, which saw a 36% decline from 2020's entry in the UK sales charts. The shift may not happen until next year or later, so we're talking COD 2023 from Treyarch or COD 2024 potentially, as this year's Call of Duty title is expected to redeem the franchise's fortunes. That is another huge portion of this news. Table that for a second, we're going to come back to that momentarily. They end off this little blurb, this little excerpt by saying, slowing down the Call of Duty release schedule may lighten developers' intense workloads and could provide new opportunities for Activision's game makers to work on other titles. The Blizzard division could also benefit culturally and strategically from the acquisition. So basically they're saying they might drop yearly releases and move to maybe every 2 years, maybe every 18 months, just to give the developers more time to finish these games and have polished products, because they're not trying to force out a yearly Call of Duty with extremely, rough deadlines, I guess we could say, like what we've seen over the past few years, to say the least. It's been a little rough with Cold War and Vanguard so far, but that's pretty big news. Now, obviously, again, it's not finalized. It's just an idea floating around. Should we stop this? Would this be better for games long term, or is that yearly paycheck still worth it? That's something they're going to have to discuss. But I also want to point out that they made a specific emphasis on how high of expectations they have for Call of Duty 2022, aka Modern Warfare 2. They say that potential halt on yearly releases won't happen until next year at the earliest, maybe even later after COD 2022, because MW 2022 or MW2 is apparently going to redeem the franchise's fortunes. They are expecting this game to be an absolute banger of a game, to probably even top MW 2019, which, as we remember, is the best-selling and most lucrative Call of Duty premium title ever. So already, even though there's no real public information on COD 2022, obviously no name confirmation, no storyline confirmation, no real info on the game, they're already saying, we know this is going to be an absolutely huge Call of Duty. They are already banking on this thing being a game changer. So it's very interesting how excited they already are for that. And I think that's good news personally, because we know what MW 2019 did. I think MW 2022 is going to go above and beyond based off of Infinity Ward's track record. Anyway, this news just gets more and more interesting by the day, and I think that's especially funny because we're still so far out from this deal actually happening. We still have a whole new Call of Duty release and over a year to go until Microsoft and Xbox would be in charge and oversee Call of Duty anyways. So it's wild how much information is already coming out now regarding their future plans, and hopefully, based off what we've heard so far, they do stick to these things that they're saying they will, especially with the whole exclusivity not being a thing for Xbox. Like I said, I just don't think it'd be a good decision to alienate PlayStation players from playing Call of Duty games, premium or free with Warzone. It's just a bad move. Yeah, it might make them more money, but you're going to lose a huge chunk of players in the long run. So hopefully we see them stick to their word here, and it'll also be very interesting to see what happens with the yearly releases. Let me know down in the comments below, do you guys prefer these games to not be released every single November so that they do have time to be finalized, to be finished and polished at launch? Or would you rather guarantee that every fall or every holiday season we're going to see a new COD drop regardless of how much time it's had to be finished and to be polished? Curious to see what you guys have to say about that, but that's going to wrap things up for today. If you enjoyed the video, let me know by dropping a like on it. Would be seriously appreciated. And of course, if you're new to the channel or if you have not already subscribed, every single day I got you covered with the latest news, updates, loadouts, and tips. Everything going on in COD, it is all right here. So feel free to subscribe with your notifications turned on. And as I mentioned in the intro, right now my G Fuel discount code Immortal will actually get you 30% off everything on the site. So now is the perfect time to try out a new flavor, restock your current favorites, or grab anything else from the site. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.